Trevenant has nowhere to run, 2 fire types in the back, wing attack, ripping apart this tree. They are at the Shadow Ball. We are going to commit a shield, hopefully. We don't get baited. The opponent full sends the Shadow Ball. The Walrus enters the arena with only 1 shield, but do they respect the blast burn damage? So, welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. This battle submission was from earlier this season, from Khaos. Shout out to Khaos. And my fucking god, does he have some submission for us today. We've got double fire in the Great League, but not just any fire types. We have got Legacy Alolan Marowak running Fire Spin, Bone Club, and the Legacy move of Shadow Bone. And then we have double Legacy Shadow Charizard, a very interesting Pokemon, running Wing Attack, Dragon Claw, and Blast Burn. I say interesting because Wing Attack has got a buff, so if this thing isn't already lethal, it's about to absolutely go off in the next season. But without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead that big thick boy, Shadow Snorlax, into Hypno. Pretty great lead, the opponent no shielded. The Body Slam, we are going to commit to the Lick Farm Down Snorlax, wins lead with residual energy. Good to go, the opponent brings in Shadow Machamp, we pivot into Alolan Marowak, both are fire types. Resist counter due to Marowak's ghost typing and Charizard's flying typing. In the back, they have the big Marshmallow Wigglytuff, but guess what, motherfucker? Both are fire type. Resist Charm, just because fire resists Fairy. This game is effectively over. Marowak takes him out, Machamp still has 2 shields. Khaos is going to start spamming out Bone Club. After Bone Club, Shadow Machamp, not the bulkiest, shields the first. We make Bone Club number 2, even if the opponent lets this go. We're going to be able to wing attack, farm them down. The opponent actually chooses to commit their final shield. You can see just 1 wing attack has really chunked the remaining health of Machamp. The opponent full sends the Rock Slide. This could also be a Rock Slide. Khaos is choosing the double shield and the opponent was not baiting, but still, that's going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we lead the big thick boy into the Pancake. It looks like Snorlax could belly flop this thing and it would be even flatter than it already is. However, on a more serious note, this is a pretty neutral matchup. Despite, you know, the Stunfist's pancake-like looks, it is actually pretty bulky. Mod Shot is generating energy at 4.5 EPT. The only move that generates energy quicker than that would be Lock On, but Lock On does absolutely fucking nothing. So it's a pretty respectable pick, but the big thick boy is more than holding its own. The opponent commits a shield. On the Body Slam, the opponent gets far too greedy, not realising that Snorlax is also pretty spammy. The opponent committed a shield and still managed to lose switch, so despite me saying it's a pretty good pick, the opponent played like an absolute potato. Enter the arena, Trevenant, we have 2 fire types. In the back, the opponent full sends the Shadow Ball, great shield from Khaos, and now in comes the Walrus. They only have 1 shield, but do they respect the blast burn damage? Yes, they do. We now make a pivot into Alolan Marowak, and the opponent says, fuck that. And that's all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we see the Pancake's Galarian brother, the Galarian Stunfisk, in the lead. Snorlax has a pretty neutral matchup. The opponent needs to be wary of the superpower. We need to be wary of the Earthquake. The opponent full sends the Earthquake. They make a pivot into Metachan, trying to catch the superpower. Khaos, far too smart, pivots into his ghost type, Alolan Marowak. The opponent fires a power-up punch, and I'm very puzzled why you'd power-up punch a ghost-type. Khaos says, Mr. Opponent, you need to full send the Hail Mary Shadow Bone. One-shots Metachan, back out, comes Galarian Stunfisk, Bone Club. Not the best move, but does hit Stunfisk. 4 super effective. The opponent has to dump energy. Khaos choosing to shield this move up. Rock Slide would probably knock out from this range. Can we get the full farm down? Yes, we can. Marowak leaves absolutely loaded, and holy crap, they've got a Charmer in the back, and this game is over. The opponent shields up the Bone Club. Khaos is at Bone Club number 2. This one will do a respectable amount of chip damage because Granball is made of paper. Enter the arena. Shadow Charizard, we can safely shield up whatever they throw, wing attack, farm them down, and that is another good game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we see Altaria in the lead, despite Snorlax having a negative matchup here. This is probably our best matchup of the 3 because Snorlax has the most bulk. Lick is chunking, but Dragon Breath is absolutely tearing us apart. You can see, even with the Body Slam, we're only just ahead on damage. Sky Attack gets us into the yellow. Can Snorlax make Body Slam number 2? Yes, it can on minimal HP. Hopefully the opponent lets it go. They do not. We are now going to pivot into our Charizard. Charizard made of absolute paper. We are going to have to shield up the Sky Attack, and now the opponent makes a pivot into Lantern, and we are looking at pretty fucked. Khaos fires off the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw does only around 20% HP. We are not going to shield up the Surf. Can Charizard survive? Absolutely not. It's now all down to Alolan Marowak Fire Spin. Is resisted. Bone Club, despite being super effective, is absolutely not going to KO. We do choose to shield up the Surf. We return fire with the Bone Club. If the opponent lets it go, you're going to see just how bad a move Bone Club is. Bone Club leaves them in the red. However, this Surf is going to do huge damage. We look to snipe with Snorlax. We get Dragon Breath. Farm down. We make the Shadow Bone on very minimal HP. The opponent can safely shield this up. They actually let it go, but whatever they have in the back, we're never going to know because the opponent sparks us down, and that is a good game. Moving on into the next battle, we see Umbreon in the lead. Alolan Marowak really wants to avoid this. Snorlax doesn't have the best matchup because Umbreon, having its dark typing and 6 million HP, is really having a strong resistance to Lick. However, superpower coverage does come in clutch. We go for the superpower. The opponent lets it go, and that did quite disappointing damage. We now pivot into double legacy. Shadow Charizard. Foul play from Umbreon. Looks like it's a really fucking strong move. Let me tell you, it is not. They now bring in Hypno. We fire off the Dragon Claw. The opponent calls the bait despite us being at the Blast Burn. Khaos is going to fire off one more Dragon Claw before we get Confusion farmed all the way down. We are now sitting in a really rough spot. We are bringing in Alolan Marowak. This could be a Shadow Ball. Khaos commits a last second shield, and what a shield it is. We are now going to commit to the Fire Spin farm down. We are down on shields, and back out comes Umbreon. We are going to spam out Bone Club. After Bone Club, the opponent shields the first. At the foul play, Khaos is now going to choose to commit his final shield. I imagine we will look to sack Snorlax at some stage as the opponent chose to shield up a really crappy Bone Club. They actually double shield. We bring in Snorlax. We don't make the superpower. We do fire off the Body Slam. Is Body Slam enough to knock out? No, it's not. They now pivot into Venusaur, and you can see why the opponent was shitting their pants. We fire off the Body Slam. Body Slam gets Venusaur into the yellow. They are looking to Vine Whip. Farm us down. The opponent thinks, fuck my life. Snorlax's Lick is tearing me apart. They fire off the Frenzy Plant. Can Alolan Marowak survive a move from Venusaur? We resist everything, but Venusaur says absolutely not and takes that game. Moving on into the next battle, we see Snorlax into Swampert. This is exactly where you want to see the GOAT Swampert because there's back 2 Mon. Absolutely don't want to see it. The opponent is going to fire off a Hydro Cannon. Snorlax tanks it reasonably well. We are going to return fire with the Body Slam. This is a matchup we do need to win in the lead. The opponent lets the Body Slam through. We can safely shield this up and commit to the Lick down, but Khaos has other ideas. We let Snorlax go down. We look to wing attack, farm down Swampert. We've only got 2 fire types. Hopefully there is not another water type in the back. The Bear Trap enters the arena, and we are full sending the Blast Burn. Does the opponent respect the damage? Yes, they do, and it's a CMP tie. Rock Slide hits Charizard for double super effective, so we are forced to return a shield. Are we going to look to sack on the next Rock Slide? No, we're not. Khaos is now forced to commit his final shield. We are now at the Blast Burn. Is Khaos going to full send it once again? No, he's not. He actually makes the catch this time. Marowak only takes single super effective, or super effective I should say, from the Rock Slide. The opponent's final Pokemon is Trevenant. They send the Seed Bomber soon as they get it. Charizard now primed to sweep this game. We fire off the Dragon Claw. Khaos goes for a cheeky undercharge. Can we wing attack, farm them down before they make a charge move? This should just be a double resisted Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb does absolutely nothing. Charizard leaves with the Blast Burn locked and loaded. It's going to be high Bear Trap by Bear Trap. GG's, and thanks for playing. Charizard closing that game in style. Moving on into the next battle, we see another Swampert in the lead. Let's see if Khaos plays this the same. This opponent is farming up 1 bazillion energy. We fire off the Body Slam. The opponent shields it up. The opponent fires off a charge move at 99 energy. It is just a Hydro Cannon. The opponent throws 4 more Mud Shots. This could easily be an Earthquake, so we are going to commit a last second shield, and it is an Earthquake. We make the Body Slam. Does the opponent want to win lead? It looks like they are making a play for it. The opponent is going to fire off 1 more charge move. I believe they're 1 short of an Earthquake. It is just a Hydro Cannon. Leaves Snorlax deep in the red, and the opponent switches out into Swampert's partner of crime. But holy crap, Skarmory has no shield. Charizard outpaces to the Blast Burn. Skarmory gets absolutely nuked, and the opponent's final Pokemon is the Walrus. Khaos doesn't commit to the Blast Burn. He fires off a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw does respectable damage on wing attack, is tearing the opponent apart. The opponent finally fires off the Icicle Sphere. Icicle Sphere takes care of Charizard, and we really need to make sure we don't get earthquaked. Khaos' switch timer doesn't pop up. The opponent is at the Earthquake. Marowak is about to get returned to its Pokeball. Can the low health Snorlax somehow pull off a miracle? The opponent brings in Swampert. We make the Body Slam. Body Slam will be taking care of Swampert. We've got around 4 HP and 1 Powder Snow takes us out, and we lose a heartbreaking game. Moving on to the next one. We see another Bear Trap in the lead. Are we going to land the superpower in this opening matchup? Are we going to respect the Earthquake? We are not, and the opponent once again full sends it. We build up a boatload of energy and chaos, going for the Hail Mary. Does the opponent respect it? Yes, they do. They now pivot into a Jumpluff, and oh my god, Jumpluff, you, my friend, aren't ready for this double fire backline. We are going to shield up a potential acrobatics, and the opponent does full send it. We overfarm quite a lot. We go for the Dragon Claw. I'm not really sure on this player's Dragon Claw. Doesn't KO, and we are now in a really tricky spot, because this could be an acrobatics, and it is, and we actually lose switch, which is pretty heartbreaking. Snorlax commits to the lick down, back out comes Galarian Stunfisk, and we're full sending the second superpower. The opponent lets it go. They build up some energy, and it's Runerigus in the back. I don't really think there's any win con at this stage. We are going to shield up a potential Shadow Ball. The opponent full sends the Shadow Ball, so perhaps I am wrong. We might have a win con. We full send the Shadow Bone. Does the opponent shield it up? Yes, they do. It's going to be a race, but the opponent is going to make any move at this stage, and it is going to take us out. It's another Shadow Ball. Snorlax can try and lick down. We actually fire off the double resisted Body Slam. Runerigus does tank it, and we get Shadow Clawed, farm down, and lose another heartbreaking game. Moving on to the next one. We see channel favourite Shadow Swampert, the one and only GOAT of PvP, in the lead, but even the GOAT says lag fuck off, and the opponent says I'm not playing today, and concede the match. Moving on to the next one. We see the Mighty Blue Mouse in the lead. The opponent pivots into Sableye. This could be double ghost. We answer with Charizard. The opponent shields up the Dragon Claw. You can see that Shadow Claw ripping us apart. Khaos choosing to shield up the foul play. We are going to outpace to a Dragon Claw, but Khaos doesn't actually throw. We are now forced to double shield our Charizard. We are going to outpace to the back-to-back Dragon Claws, although we are running out of HP. Khaos goes for an undercharge. We get one more wing attack off. We have the Blast Burn almost locked and loaded. Blast Burn is resisted, but Charizard and Blast Burn don't care about typings. It does around 40% HP of Azumarill, which is pretty fucking impressive for a resisted move. We now come in to the big thick boy, and we are going to start the Body Slam spam. Snorlax lands the Body Slam. Azumarill now deep in the red. They are going to fire off the Hydro Pump, and that does big damage. It's now a simultaneous swap. It is double ghost, but it is Trevenant, so fire is going to hit this tree for super effective. The opponent shields up the Bone Club. They need to throw a charge move. They don't. Marowak makes one more resisted Bone Club. Is this enough to knock out? Yes, it is. Azumarill is energy dry. Can we make the Bone Club? No, we can't. Snorlax is low, but makes the Body Slam, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. The big thick boy never disappoints, pulling off an absolute beautiful victory. So those were the battles with the double fire strategy from Khaos. A pretty unbalanced team, as stuff like Swampert and Lantern have the ability to run through the entire roster. However, an incredible showcase. I'm really excited to see the wing attack buff and how double legacy Charizard performs when the Great League does return, and the return of Season 13. I will be putting it to the test. So if you'd like your battles featured on the channel, link to my battle submission form is down below. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. I hope everyone had a fantastic Season 12. And I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.